Hello everyone สวัสดีครับกินอาหารเช้าก่อนนะครับ Here is the breakfast Here I am on the way to Noen maparang It's not far from Phitsanulok about 30 to 40 kilometers from Phitsanulok lush greenery everywhere
zoom in and you can see there are some caves right in that distance, and that's where we are going to go, but we're going to go around, and it's just a long way, so that's our final destination. Right next to the river there's a small cafe with a windmill design on top of it. It sits right next to the road, based in the mountains surrounding lush greenery, as you can see. This is where we enter the village. The whole place is filled with a lot of resorts that you can see on my left and my right, and this is basically a tourism spot for a lot of people. famous cafe is located at the heart of the village. The name of this cafe is the Rock Cafe, and surrounding the cafe they have built some farms around it where they raise animals, and a lot of the food that they make is organic. Here are some goats, as you can see. Some of them are living on the farm freely. They've been raised organically and they can just move all around. They have that freedom. There are goats, there are other animals that I've seen in the video. Here's the scenic route that connects the cafe to the main road, and I'm driving back, and this path at the end is going to connect with the road and take us to our final destination. As you drive along the road on your left or your right, on either of your directions, you're going to see these huge mountains that haven't completely turned into soil, but they're just plain huge rocks just standing on your right. And you're going to see a lot of them as I drive by. This area, as you can see, is a habitat for monkeys. Monkeys all around, monkeys and me, that's just it. I was all alone by myself with these animals. They're everywhere. Here's a guy chilling in the tree, just looking over everything. is nature at its best. There's a monkey feeding her baby, just crawling along the whole pathway with her. And as you can see, I guess that's the dad probably next to it. This guy is just chilling in a tree, eating his food. He looks alone, sadly. I guess he's trying to find a one for himself, you know, maybe his soulmate. We are getting closer to our destination now. This is the road that connects to the offices that are going to help us, you know, figure out the rest of the place, because this is my first time here and I still have to look forward to a few things. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. I'm going to be there in a couple minutes maybe. Oh, I see a Batman, so I guess we're going to be expecting a lot of caves and a lot of bats. Maybe that's why we see a Batman, probably. And a lot of monkeys, most likely. So finally I'm inside the forest, but they didn't really charge me anything. On average you do get charged 30 baht per person, but since the park and the forest is completely devoid of people, they just let me pass through without taking any money. So if you come here in an off season, you probably don't have to pay anything. Right here we can see there are some animals that are indigenous to this area, and we have to be aware of the monkeys. There are tons of monkeys around here.
ใครอยู่นี่แหละครับมีแต่เราคนเดียวเลยแล้วก็มีลิง
There's no one in this forest, no one. I doubt anyone else is visiting today. It's just me by myself. And as you can see, I think it's the fall season and there's so many leaves. Fall season has recently ended, so as you can see, there is a lot of spillage of these leaves that have left the season, and the fresh green has bursting. Here's the first cave that there's a series of caves that we are going to see from here, and this is the first one among the three. This is the smallest one of the three, and I am just going to show you from a distance. As you can see, this huge mountain of a rock that goes all the way up, and then there's this small cave right underneath it. look at there, that wall, that right under there is a cave. I don't think there's a lot of altitude there, and if I go inside I will have to crouch probably. I can also see a lot of bats from the distance, but maybe it's not that visible in the video. And this wall to me resembles a monstrous face. It looks very out of place, I guess.
ทุกคนอย่าเพิ่งไปไหนนะครับ ยังมีอีกเยอะๆที่เราต้องดูนะครับ ใจเย็นๆนะ
I'll have to park my bike around here, and we are going to explore the second cave that is around here, and I will show you in just a second. Here's the plaque for the park, but it's all in Thai and I doubt any of us can read it. But there's a plaque that is available in English. That right there is the cave, and I'm just going to show you guys this one is called the Lord Cave, and the length of the cave is about 227 meters, and it has an altitude of 80 meters on the inside. I am going to make my way to the cave now, and this old suspension bridge, I don't know how long it has been here for, but it is slowly deteriorating. As you can see, some of the wooden pieces have broken, but this is me on my way towards the cave, and that right there, as you can see, there's this danger sign for falling rocks, so I cannot go inside of the cave because it's very risky for me to go inside because I'm alone, and if I were to get stuck inside it would probably be my last video, I think. But here's a look around, and I'm going to give you my best and show you how the cave looks, maybe from a distance, but that right there is the path that leads inside. But there's still a sign for falling rocks that I have to look for, so
มืดหน่อยนะครับ แต่ทางนี้ก็สวยดีนะครับ
there's not a lot of visibility on the inside.
เดี๋ยวเราจะไปสถานที่ใหม่นะครับ สถานที่ต่อไปคืออะไรครับ อย่าเพิ่งไปไหนนะครับ เดี๋ยวให้ดูสนุกแน่เลย อันนี้ก็คือสถานที่3นะครับ อ่านได้เลยนะครับ น่าจะมีคางเยอะคางขาวน่าจะเยอะครับ เดี๋ยวเราจะเข้าไปดูนะครับ อีกไม่นาน
This is the third cave that I'm going to explore. It's called the Padang Cave, and I hope I'm saying it right. I'm not sure, but we're going to take a look inside in a while. It's going to be pretty dark, as we can see. This is the path that leads to the third cave. As you can see, it's not paved or anything, and there's just roughly lying rocks everywhere, so I will have to carefully make my way to where the entrance of the cave is. it's a rocky slope as far as I can see. It's not your regular mountain, and the slopes are very dangerous because the rocks can chip anytime from weathering that happens over the years. But this is where we enter the cave. As you can see, pretty desolate. Nobody's here. It's just me by myself. And that is the third cave, the Phadang cave. That is the name of this cave.
หลังคาถ้ำมีรูขนาดใหญ่นะครับ ดูได้เลยนะครับ มองชัดเลย ข้างในมีค้างคาวเยอะด้วยนะครับ เสียงค้างคาวดังด้วยนะครับ มีหลายตัวเลย เรามารบกวนค้างคาวหรือเปล่า เดี๋ยวโดนนะ
The ceiling of this cave has a huge hole on the inside. I am not sure how high it goes. The depth of it is pretty unknown to me, and also because it's really dark, so I can't really tell where it ends. But yeah, that's a massive hole right there. Definitely somewhere there must be bats around living inside that hole probably, but some of them are visible to us. Right there, there's a wave of them on the ceiling just circling around. You can hear the sound of them just screaming at each other.
ที่นี่มีแบบกลิ่นแปลกๆด้วยนะครับ ผมคิดว่าเราไปข้างนอกดีกว่านะครับ
There's one more place that we are left with on our trip for today, but before we make our way there, we are going to leave this cave. The rest of the structure is just, just stones everywhere. This is a huge stone, that's it. But we're just going to make our way back to where we came from, and then we are going to make our way to the final point of this place.
มาที่จอดมอเตอร์ไซค์แล้วนะครับ
This right here is my bike. That's what I drive. Doesn't really sound like a sports bike, but it does the job. That's the plaque, and this is
ลิงกำลังจะปิดถนนนะครับ
the path that goes on to the next destination that I have in my mind. And right there, some monkeys just crossing it's a bit unnerving because it's just me and my bike, and I'm pretty sure I'm startling them with my bike. As you can see, they just run away and shout at me. So I don't suppose they get a lot of visitors here, and you can see they're just sitting on the road, and it's just me driving through the whole place. They can get pretty territorial because monkeys are like that. They like their territories. So I'm trying my best to just drive slowly and not create a ruckus around here. This is the chart that shows the birds and that are available in this park, the species that live here. The information is pretty detailed, but most of it is written in Thai, so I can't really give much details here. But there's a lot of species that live around here. Some of them we are going to spot as we go on and make our way to the destination at the end.
จอดรถที่นี่นะครับ แล้วก็เดินไป
I'll have to leave my bike here because going forward, the path from here is just a small path that will lead to this place where I will have to hike for a bit and make my way to the top. Here's some ASMR for you guys of me crunching leaves as I go and make my way to the end of this point.
เงียบมากนะครับ เวลาเราเดินบนใบไม้นี้ เราก็ได้ยินเสียงชัดเลยครับ เราจะพยายามเดินเร็วๆนะครับ จะได้ถึงสถานที่เร็วน้อยทุกคนที่กำลังจะดูจะได้รอไม่นานนะครับแต่ตั้งแต่เข้ามาอุทยานนี้ไม่มีใครอยู่นะครับเราไม่ได้เจอสักคนหนึ่งเลยมีแต่ตัวเราคนเดียวนะครับแต่แบบนี้ก็สนุกดีนะครับอันนี้รถเข้าไม่ได้ก็ต้องเดินมานะครับ วันนี้บรรยากาศดีด้วยนะครับไม่ร้อนเท่าไหร่นะครับอากาศกำลังจะดีเลยครับ
I'm not sure how far it is because this is the first time I've been here. So I'm just going to keep walking and I will update you once I find a point where I will get some information about where I am or how far I have to go. Just stay tuned and I will make it worth your while.
ผมคิดว่าใกล้จะถึงแล้วนะครับอีกไม่นานเดี๋ยวทุกคนจะได้เห็นวิวที่สวยงามมากนะครับ
I
เราต้องดูทางดีๆด้วยนะครับ เผื่อเจองูได้นะ
This place is pretty desolate, but as you can see, it's just me. And there is a path that has been created, and there is a simple sidewalk that has been constructed. And I am going to hike my way to the top, and I'll just follow along. As you can see, they've just marked a path for us to go up. There's a bit of a slope, but you can see that they have carved stairs at some point, but they're all broken now because the weather and the rain that Thailand faces is very extreme, and I think because of the weathering, a lot of the steps have completely crumbled. But we are going to make our way to the top. That's where we came from, and that's where we have to go. So let's keep going up.
เราใกล้จะถึงบนแล้วนะครับ
Almost there, right there. As you can see, we have finally plateaued. That is where we stop.
มีนกด้วยนะครับ ตัวเล็ก
Wow, let's look at the bird. I mean, I'm not sure how well you guys can see, but that's one of the birds that was marked down on the chart that I showed you guys. And there's a bunch of them around here, but it's a bit hard to focus in this because it's all so dense. But I will try to find as many as I can and show you guys. But that's the way we came from again, and this is where we are going to stop for the day. This is called the Red Palm Cliff, and it's pretty interesting because there's a few things about this cliff that I'm going to tell you. For one, that this cliff has clear evidence from prehistoric men that lived around 4,000 years ago. The Red Palm Cliff is supposed to have 35 artistic hand shapes and drawings that have been created from a mixture of plant and rubber and red iron ore called hematite. Now, what they did back then, I think 4,000 years ago, is they made paint, basically red paint. And then they put their hands in that paint and just made handprints all over the walls around here that I'm going to show you in just a couple minutes. But this is the site. They've barricaded the whole thing, but I'm going to show you a few handprints, but these are animal handprints. This is from a brush-tailed porcupine. Here's me wiping the dust off from it so you can see clearly. This is the brush-tailed porcupine that is endemic to the area around here. And there's one more animal, which was a bit surprising because I've never heard of a cat like this. This one is a paw print of a fishing cat. And apparently, from my research, I was able to figure out that these cats are endangered as of now. From 2016 until now, their numbers have been dwindling. But anyway, as you can see, that right there is an entrance of some sort. I could not go in. As I said, there's a danger of rocks falling. I could get stuck inside. It's just me. So I'm not going to take those risks. But that right there is a small temple that someone has created here. But the rest of the things I will show you from the outside, and in just a few moments I will show you where they have painted the walls and the handprints that have existed for about 4,000 years now. Before we go and check the handprints out, let me just turn and give you guys the mesmerizing view that you can see from the red palm cliff here in this park right there. That's the mountain range that you can see on the end, and this green blanket of trees, this peace, these sounds that you cannot hear anywhere else, just pure bliss. I'm just trying to breathe it all in, and I hope you guys feel the same as I am feeling right now, because this is it. This is why I made the trip. This is why I've climbed so far to the top, just to see these things. All these things just really make you feel grateful to be alive, to be able to see these things. And I'm alone right now, and I feel like reflecting on the life that I have lived so far. This is just how pretty it is.
เดี๋ยวผมจะแสดงรอยมือบนผนังนะครับให้ทุกคนดูนะครับเมื่อประมาณ 4,000 ปีที่แล้วนะครับ
I'm just going to zoom in and show you guys where I came from. The forest, as you can see, is really dense, so it's a bit hard if you lose your way around here. This right here is the wall where we are going to see a bunch of handprints now. That's the first one that I was able to spot. As you can see, the fingers are huge. I didn't get time to put my hands on it just to give you an ideal size, but this is the wall where the 35 artistic handprints that have been recorded are painted. But I think for so many years now, because there's no clear protection that has been given to these paintings, some of them have just turned and started weathering and breaking off and chipping off, because in the end it's just stone and it's just going to turn and break into soil. So there's no preservation done as of now. So they're just right there on the wall, and you have to try really hard to spot them. As you can see here, there's a huge cluster of them. These red handprints that we have talked about, or the plaque of this place talks about the information that has been given. If I were to find each one of them, there would be almost 35 of them somewhere, but I guess we'll leave that for some other day. But there are 35 red handprints on the wall that were printed here about 4,000 years ago, and that is a long time. But this is all the red palm. That's why this place is called the Red Palm Cliff, because it has the prints of the palms, as you can see. For all it's worth, the only flower I could see was this one. It looks like it was knitted by someone. I've never seen a flower this pretty and with different colors to it. But it's not just this one, the whole flower, it just creeps around this big tree, and there is a bunch of them around here. Pretty different, very vivid, very different from a normal flower that you can see.
ดอกไม้นี้สวยนะครับ มีหลายสีด้วย สวยมาก
The monkeys are finally noticing my presence, and I guess it's making them feel a bit agitated because they don't see a lot of people around here. So they started jumping all around, and I think it's about time I also wrap this up, and I will see you guys in another video, and I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and promote this content and share it with your friends so I could grow my channel and hopefully give you guys more content and more places that you could travel to in future based on the recommendations and my own personal experiences. Bye bye, stay healthy and keep traveling.
ลิงที่นี้เริ่มอารมณ์ไม่ดีแล้วนะครับ เราก็จะกลับบ้านแล้วนะครับ ดูแลตัวเองดีๆนะครับ